because I know a lot of people love to crap in a bucket. Oh, it never smells, but you know it does. I've done it, especially in a hot climate. I don't care what anybody says, a human manure bucket, a composting toilet, they stink. And further, your guests don't want to look at their leftovers from dinner. Because I work in electrical, HVAC, general contracting, I've literally done every part of the job. I want to make sure that I can give you as much value as possible. So when you attend one of our workshops, we're going to have a solar energy and wiring mini workshop within the workshop, where you'll get to actually pull wires and do the basic wiring that you would do in any house whatsoever, whether it's AirCrete or not. Many students have said they received the complete value of the course just in the electrical training alone. So when you attend one of our workshops, you're going to get training, you're going to know how to wire your house, you're going to know how to do it safely and properly, you're going to know where to look up the codes to make sure you got the right breakers and wire size, and also you're going to learn how solar energy works. What's the best system of practice? What components does it take to wire a system? How do you size your batteries to the amount of solar panels you have, and also how much energy can you realistically expect to collect in your area? Because yes, if you're in the Arizona, New Mexico, Chihuahuan Desert or the Sonoran Desert, then yes, you're going to have a lot of sun days, but you need to know things like the mean solar days for your area. I mean, how many cloudy days do you have? Do you live in Spring Green, Wisconsin, where you get pretty much just a solid gray sky all winter? These are all very important factors to put into the design of your solar system. So we're offering this for free as an added value to our workshops to make sure that you have more of the tools that you need to know to build your home successfully. And honestly, solar systems and hiring electricians, those are two of the most expensive components of building a house. So even if you build an AirCrete dome that only costs you $8–9 per square foot for the shell, the majority of the expense, up to that $40 per square foot, is actually in the completion of the home. And that cost goes up substantially if you hire an electrician, if you have to hire a plumber, if you have to hire someone to put in septic. Also, we're going to make you aware of the best of practice systems like a flushable composting toilet, because I know a lot of people love to crap in a bucket. Oh, it never smells, but you know it does. I've done it, especially in a hot climate. I don't care what anybody says, a human manure bucket, a composting toilet, they stink. And further, your guests don't want to look at their leftovers from dinner. So I believe that that's also very important and more sanitary to have a flush toilet. It can be a low flush toilet, it can be an RV toilet that uses virtually no water, but to have a worm composting system that separates out the solids, processes out the liquid, and has no discharge and is completely clean. And it can even be made 100% legal by taking any potential discharge and going into your municipal sewer or a regular small septic or aerobic system. So these are just the nice little touches that make life more beautiful for you and for your guests. So I just want you to know that this extra value is in our workshops. And in all honesty, our website, our webpage is not just about AirCrete. We're about an entire lifestyle design system. And building your own home is the foundational, maybe most or second most important thing in life, is having your shelter paid for, getting out of that animal survival brain where you no longer have any fear of not having a place to live and not having food on the table. Behind me is a tall spindle apple system. It's a system capable of producing 2,000 apples over 10 trees, and it's a system that begins to produce fruit in just 2 years. So there's many things that allow you to really get your game together, that really allow you to produce an amazing amount of extremely healthy food. In one interview, a Hopi farmer was having their corn tested against commercial corn, for example. It had 10 times the minerals, twice the vitamins, twice the enzymes of the food that was produced commercially. So even though commercially they got 40 bushels per acre, in actual nutrition, they were actually getting 4 bushels of food per acre, 4 bushels of nutrition per acre. So when you grow nutrient-dense food, when it's not fertilized with commercial fertilizers which invite pest and disease, then you produce a very strong, vitalizing, healthy food. And this whole idea of 2,000 calories per day and farming 5 acres of land is just, honestly, it's not true if you learn the pieces and do it together. So this channel will be covering topics of food production, lifestyle design. Eventually we'll get around to the process of teaching making your income. We have an upcoming video course that in fact is a blueprint for getting off the land. It shows you how to get out of the city and onto the land really fast, and to even make your income, to completely disconnect, because that really is probably the #1 problem that I find most people. You know, even near here, some engineers, they came down, they more or less retired from work, they started the farm, they did aquaponics, but now they have the debt on the house, they have the debt on the farm, and they still have to send one of them to work on a fairly regular basis to actually make enough money to stay on the land. And I've heard that story from a number of farmers as well, where we do it for the lifestyle, we love being here, but you know, oh Bob, he's got to go back to a regular job to actually, you know, make enough money for us to stay here. And so we've put together a complete blueprint from building an AirCrete house, your sanitation systems, your water systems, your energy, your security, your luxury, your health care, all the alternatives for both medical and dental care. We put together a complete package, including income systems that allow you to put yourself right on the land, so that if you want to be a homesteader, if you want to get on the land, you want to get out of the rat race, or you want to simply come to a place where you can check out, figure out who you are and what you're doing, and then come back into the world with strength, with a clarity, you know, having taken the time to get really clear on your value, to really discover what moves your heart and what's going to really move other people and bring value to you and value to them, a way that you can come from a position of strength instead of a position of survival. Because once the lower brain has been satisfied, and there's not that fight or flight thing over food and shelter and the things that honestly most people spend their entire life paying for the house and keeping groceries on the table, and once all that's solved, and you can do that in as little as 1 to 2 years, even on minimum wage. So once that's solved, that gives you a strength, a position where you can work when you choose to work, and you can do what you choose to do, and you can find out what you really love. And it's from this position of power that you may go out and crush it in the world. You may make those millions, but it's not like it's a one-size-fits-all. It's not like building your initial tiny starter home has to be the end-all of everything. Don't wait for perfection, but get started. Do it now. Don't wait till someday, because someday never comes. There's always an excuse, there's always a problem, there's always a money limitation, there's always people who doubt you in your family, people who don't believe it's possible around you, people who would say you can't survive, you can't actually grow all your own food. And I know for a fact it's not true. I have lived it. I have seen and met people who are living it. It's entirely possible to produce everything. And then once you have the base needs met, then you can move into the luxuries and the things that you want, the things that you desire. But starting with a strong foundation from AirCrete onward, this channel will be covering all of those things, as well as continuing to offer workshops. But it's not the end of all, it's simply the beginning.